Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of my Dark Avenger comic book review. These are comics from Wednesday, December 2nd. First of all, happy holidays. It is now officially December, the Christmas/Hanukkah season for those of you who enjoy the holidays like me and Mike and everybody else. Yeah. So, it was a short comic book week this week. Not too many that I collected anyway. I'm sure there were a ton others have. But anyway, short week. Comics came late. That's why they're not even scotch taped yet or fixed. And for those of you who ask why I don't use boards, I'm just not used to them. When I first started collecting comics, I was used to just plastic. So anyway, okay, let's get started. Let's not delay. I have some news for you guys at the end of this comic book review. A few rumors, a few updates, a few things like that there. Yeah, news. So anyway, first comic book is the Invincible Iron Man, Stark Disabled, which is also Invincible Iron Man number 20. I have started collecting Iron Man. I hear it's becoming really good. Gotta admit something before I review this comic. When I started into the Marvel Universe, Civil War was going on, and we all know that Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, was against Captain America. And I've been a Captain America fan, maybe not of the comic when I was younger, but a Captain America fan in general. And him going against my favorite character in the Marvel Universe didn't give him good points with me. So I didn't like Iron Man for a very long time. But then I heard there's a huge event going on. Invincible, I heard, was very good. So I figured I'd pick this up. This is the next, this takes place right after Most Wanted, where Norman Osborn basically beat the crap out of Tony Stark. It's a really good comic. He actually mentions about Civil War, Norman Osborn, and a few other things. And he also explains how he's in a vegetative state, and he also gives the Avengers a way to reboot him. That's how he says reboot. If they want to. I love how Tony Stark said, if you want to. You don't have to have me back. So in a way, he's apologizing, but he even says, I'm not apologizing. So he's apologizing without apologizing, if you guys can understand that. Like a double standard. He's apologizing for what happened. He's admitting that, you know, because the heroes have been fighting amongst each other, also known Civil War, for those of you who read that comic, the villains have been able to profit off of the heroes going at each other's throats. It's a really good book. I enjoyed it. It's a great first part. I don't know why, but this week, which is going to be next week's comic book review, though, part 2 is coming out. I'm a week late. This came out 2 weeks ago. If you want this comic book, you're going to have to go back into the last week of November's sales. I just grabbed it because somebody told me I should pick it up, and I really enjoyed it, actually. It's pretty good. I actually, you know, more along the lines of my own curiosity, and then somebody said, well, it's okay. I was reading somebody's review about it, and I said, okay, since somebody said it's okay, I'll try it. I'm really glad I did. If you guys want to grab this, this is the first, this is a perfect jump-on point, because this is part 1 of the story. Get it? Pretty good. And now, another Iron Man title, part 1 of 4, Iron Man vs. Whiplash. This is getting you guys ready for Iron Man 2, coming to theaters May 9th. Gonna be great. I can't wait for the movie, which is why I got the comic. Sorry, I just noticed I'm moving it around too much. And it's good. It's showing you the origin of Whiplash. Basically, in the beginning of the comic book, you see somebody as Iron Man going at destroying some type of a Soviet city. Obviously, it wasn't Tony Stark, but Tony Stark was people went forget who, 2 Soviet heroes went after him, and basically they brought him in for trial, and basically it ended where Tony Stark has no good alibi and Whiplash is born. Part 2 will probably take place after the trial or during the trial, and we'll see if he's innocent or not. Of course, you know he's going to be found innocent, but still, it's an okay title. If you're going to see the movie and you want a little backstory, I guess, or you want to like get pumped for the movie, I guess you can get this. It's up to you guys. It's okay. It's an alright one. I would get Invincible before getting this, but this came out this week. Invincible came out 2 weeks ago. Your call. It's an okay one. Okay, thus far. We'll see how the story continues. Seeing Tony Stark on trial and stuff is pretty interesting. Okay, now this was the deciding factor for me. X-Force Annual number 1. Really interested in this title. As a matter of fact, I got into contact with Pete from Pete's Basement. And I asked him a few questions on this. Really awesome guy, once again, Pete's Basement. 100th episode this weekend. Don't you dare miss it. And he said X-Force was okay, so I decided to pick up the annual to, of course, people could say it's okay, but it's really your opinion that matters. And in this one, it's a special. Wolverine basically goes after this guy whose daughter is dying, and he needs a blood sample from him. I cannot remember where. Thank God I didn't put plastic on these yet, but I forget where he went to. He went to Hydra. Thank you, Mr. Comic Book. The Hydra base. He's a general at Hydra. And, yeah, that proves how... I'm just getting onto this, just like Iron Man, so bear with me until I get used to the comic and everything else in it. And he brings this guy in, and Hydra goes after him, and in the end, basically, I'll let you guys read it. It was good. Backup story with Deathpool. I guess it's to promote Deathpool in the X-Men. I'm sorry. I mean, Deathpool's hilarious. I just think they're oversaturating Marvel with him right now, so I want to like him, but it's kind of like if they would ease up on him, I'd like him a little bit more. Good story, though. Hilarious. It's a very good annual. I'm going to get the next X-Force issue and see how well the comic book stands up to its annual. Pretty good. I pick it up. It was worth the money. I liked the story. I thought the story was good. The artwork could have been better, but I still liked it. It was really good. I would get it. And now, I know last week we did Uncanny X-Men number 517. This week is 518. Uncanny X-Men. Scott Summers goes into Emma Frost's head to get rid of the void that is in her body. While this is going on, we find out also that Nation X, the island, is sinking, and they ask Magneto, they don't trust him, of course, still, and they ask him for help. And yeah, so Magneto says, I'm going to help, sure, why not? And basically, by comic's end, little spoiler, the void leaves Emma Frost and she goes out of her diamond state, but it enters Scott Summers, and we find out that Emma says it wanted Scott Summers all along. Really good story. I'm really enjoying Nation X. As a matter of fact, I didn't get the first issue of Nation X. I got the one where Magneto showed up. I'm actually ordering the first part, and I'll do it in a review next week, because it's gonna in 2 weeks, because it's gonna come in 2 weeks. I didn't order it this week. I'll order it next week. I just realized I missed the first part, so I'll review that when I get it. Really good storyline. I'm enjoying it. I can't wait for the island to sink, though, to be honest, because it was better when they were, in New York. I mean, they went around. Right now, it's like all the X-Men are cluttered together on an island, and it makes it kind of. It limits the story. And in the next issue, the cover shows Hank walking away, Henry McCoy. I can't wait for the next issue. The next issue just makes you like, oh boy, what's happening? What's gonna happen next? I think an X-Men's leaving. I'll leave it at that. For those of you who are interested, buy the comic. In the back, they show you the cover. Really good. Can't wait for the next issue. If you're an X-Men fan, I'd be getting Uncanny. Okay, I remember saying this last week's review. Superman, World of New Krypton, number 10. Thank you, God. 2 more issues. 2 more. I skimmed the book. I'm being honest with you. I'm completely bored with New Krypton. I can't wait for it to be over. Basically, Adam Strange shows up. There was a murder. They do some investigating, and they find out it was really an assassination. Last page has a gun target at Allura. That's basically the whole story in 2 seconds. It's okay. Next part is going to have Adam Strange again, leading into the entire comic series finale, which is number 12, leading back into, thank you God, the Superman titles, where Superman will once again be part of his own titles. So, pick it up if you've been picking it up. Don't pick it up if you haven't been picking it up. Just wait. 2 more issues and it's gone forever. And with that, I will move on to part 2 with 2 more good. Yeah, 2 more okay, 1 okay and 1 really good comic. You might want to stick around for part 2. Catch you guys in a second.